Compound interest is interest earned on or paid on both the initial amount P and the previously earned interest. And the way we calculate compound interest is we have the formula A is equal to P times the sum of 1 and R divided by N to the power of N times T. So A is the current amount, P is the principal or initial amount, N is the number of times the interest is compounded each year, and R is the annual interest rate in decimal form, and T is the time in years. So this formula here will allow us to calculate compound interest. Let's look at a problem. Determine the amount of investment if $300 is invested at an interest rate of 3.5% compounded monthly for 22 years. So what do we have? Well, the first thing we want to do is identify what is P, N, R, and T. Then we're going to take all of those values and substitute it into this equation and solve for A, the current amount. So let's go ahead and do that. P, the principal, or the starting amount, is $300 here. So we're going to say P is 300. N is the number of times the interest is compounded each year, and it says here in the problem that the interest is compounded monthly for 22 years. Monthly, that means 12 times a year. Then we have R, the annual interest rate. So R is equal to 3.5, but we want it in decimal form, so it's going to be 3.5 divided by 100, where we are moving the decimal place to the left 2 spaces, so we get 0.035 as our R. And then we have our time in years T, so T is going to equal to 22, because we're investing for 22 years. Now we have our P, N, R, and T. What we're going to do is substitute these values into our equation. Let's do that now, and we get A is equal to 300 P times the sum of 1 plus R, 0.035, over N, which is 12, all to the power of N times T. So it's going to be 12 times 22. Alright, we can do a little bit of simplification here. Let's figure out what that value is there. It's going to be 0.035 divided by 12. So that's going to equal to 300 times 1 plus 0.002917 to the power of 12 times 22 is 264. So now that we have all of the values ready to go, we can go and drop that all into a calculator and find out what this is going to equal. So we have 1 plus 0.002917, and then we're going to take that to the power of 264, and then we're going to multiply that by 300, and what we get is 647.26 if we're rounding to the nearest penny. And this is money in a bank account. That's compounding interest, so our units here is going to be dollars, and this here is our final answer. It's going to be $647.26 is the amount that we're going to be earning over 22 years at 3.5 interest rate.